Excited to do it. We're going to get started with just some of our preliminary introductions. So, thanks to the team at Environment for the Americas. We have team members all over the Americas working to help develop this program, and without them, we couldn't do it. So, really appreciate your those of you who do World Migratory Bird Day. And as you know, it's a global event. So we work with our partners with the Convention of Migratory Species, the African Eurasian Waterbird Agreement, and the East Asian Australasian Flyway Partnership. And with those partners, we're able to amplify our voices for bird conservation, around the world. So it's an amazing part of this program. I also want to thank our sponsors who make this possible. And without them, we wouldn't be able to have these webinars or develop the education materials that we provide to groups who are hosting World Migratory Bird Day, or just to work with the many, many communities that we work with from Canada to Argentina and the Caribbean. And this year, the 2026 Migratory Bird Day conservation theme is the importance of community science to bird conservation, highlighting the fact that what you observe and what you are able to share in terms of your knowledge and experiences with birds can really benefit their conservation. One of the projects we've been highlighting this year is Journey North. And also because Environment for the Americas works on hummingbirds as well. So this is a great one, and hummingbirds are shared across many countries. We invite you to use this website to put in your observations. Hummingbirds are leaving Canada and the United States right now, heading towards their wintering grounds in Mexico and Central America. And then, of course, there are migratory hummingbirds in South America. Hummingbirds also migrate through the Caribbean region. And having your information and data is very important to our knowledge of how they get where they're going and what we can do to help make their journey safer. So this is just an example of a map showing these migrations that hummingbirds undertake and where you see them. And it's easy. If you go to journeynorth.com, you can go in and put your location, if you're working on a project, you can put the information there. You can put what species of hummingbird you see and any notes. You can even add a photo to it. And you can share a little bit more information, like is it feeding on flowers or insects? Is it courting or mating, which it shouldn't be doing now? Or is it visiting a feeder? So just a simple way to get involved in community science and help us learn more, because definitely hummingbirds, we need a little bit more information about them. Today, our guest speaker is actually our artist for the year. So this is a really fun webinar that we're hosting, and we want you to get involved. So we are hosting an embroidery competition. This is a worldwide competition, and we want you to submit your art. We have two age groups, one for youth under age 18 and one for adults 18 and over. And it's really simple. Just submit your original piece of embroidery, any embroidery technique allowed, but it has to be original art. Can't use AI. And you can submit that to us. We'll have a panel who will review it. And then we'll select some winners, and they'll win some great prizes valued at least $200 with some of Luisa's beautiful art on it. As you know, we have lots of education materials, and the art is featured on it every year. So you can see our Trello board where you can go find some of these materials, or if you want to buy anything, you can purchase it there. A lot going on right now. And as we speak, we're preparing what we call our happy kits to go down to Latin America and the Caribbean. These kits are filled with educational materials that we donate free of charge to organizations who are hosting World Migratory Bird Day activities and programs. We're sending over 250 of these kits. They're worth about $200 each. So every dollar we raise to help us with this cost is really helpful. So we appreciate all of those who donate or contribute to our programs and have made these happy kits possible. Coming up next on September 17th, our next webinar is going to focus on the Christmas bird count. And just to get you excited, the Christmas bird count is hosted across the Americas. This is a growing program, and it's a way to look at wintering or overwintering populations of birds. So wherever you are, you can host one of these programs. It's very simple. It's a 1 day activity that you can do in your community. And the science and the data that are gathered are really important to our knowledge and awareness of what birds we have in those winter months in the United States and Canada. And of course, the birds that are overwintering in your area in Latin America and the Caribbean, which can include our migratory species. So, really important part of understanding migratory birds. During that session, we'll teach you the importance of this program, also how you can start your own Christmas bird count if you don't have one. The panel will include representatives from the National Audubon Society, which runs that program, along with Dr. Greg Butcher, who had identified declines in one of our focal species, the merlin, using data from the Christmas bird count. So looking forward to having them on. And our posters, I just want to share a little bit about our posters. You look at our posters and you think, great, the artist gets the art together, they put it together, and you're all done. But it doesn't really work that way. And as an example, I'm going to share with you our 2013 art, the year that we were working with Barry Kent McKay to do our life cycle of a bird's theme. And I just want to share with you how we start the process, which is the same as how we did it this year, which is we started with some sketches of, what could the poster look like? What would the birds look like? We go back and forth with some conversation about how it's going. What should we do with the birds? Did they have the right number of feathers? Is the plumage correct? How do we want to do this? And then we move into the poster design. And so first on this poster, we tried a yellow background, and then we tried adding a map, and then we got more comments. And so we did the map, and so we added some arrows to show the direction of migration. Then we went on with more sketches because we needed birds at different phases of their life cycle, from nesting and overwintering to migrating. So we wanted to accurately illustrate these. We wanted to show a female and males and in flight and perched. And so it's a lot of work going back and forth with the artist and then moving towards the final design of the poster. And even then, we reach out to you, our public, to make sure that you like it and that you're going to use it and it's relevant for you. So we get a lot of different comments. It's really fun. And just know that not everybody agrees on what color the poster should be or how it should be designed, but somehow we always come up with a way to make a piece that, everybody's going to be happy with. So we get input from experts and graphic designers and others. And in this year, we had all these focal species that you see here, although we featured just one species, the American redstart, on the art. So I just want you to know that when you get the poster, it might look easy, but to get to this final piece takes months. And so with that, I want to give a big thank you to our artist, Luisa Lacerda, because it was a lot of work putting together this art. She had several meetings with us to go over what the species would be. Then we had to work on putting it together. And it was just an amazing process. But I've got to say that Louisa is so incredible as an artist, and her work is so amazing that it went really smoothly. It seemed so easy. So I want to thank Louisa. And then I want to turn it over to her to share her work and how she does it. Thank you, Louisa.
Thank you, Susan. I'm here. Can you see me? Yes. Okay. Good afternoon for everyone. Very happy to be part of this project. I love to embroider and I love birds. So when they invited me to do the artwork for this campaign, I was very, very happy. And I know it's a big um, I'm sorry. Sometimes the words are going to flip out. So I'm going to start. Well, I'm Luisa Lacerda. I'm from Brazil. I'm from Rio de Janeiro. We here in Rio, we like to say it's the one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So it's a little bit dangerous too, but it's beautiful. And we have Beautiful birds too, a lot of beautiful birds. Yeah, you can pass yes, please. First of all, I am a musician. I am a musician over more than 10 years. I am a singer and I hold a degree in classical guitar. So I put some photographs of me working, singing and playing my guitar in a concert and singing with a Brazilian orchestra. And what happened was that I wasn't an embroiderer since until the pandemic, the COVID pandemic in 2020. In 2020, I had to stay at home without working with music because I couldn't travel, work like everybody else. And then I needed a hobby and something to work that wasn't wasn't music, right? So you can pass the next. Yes, please. So in 2021, I had this photograph. I was embroidering as a hobby, and then with the progress of my work, I started to receive orders to sell embroideries. And it was something that I did for, I don't know, 8 years, 8 hours a day. I was completely in love with embroidery. It was something that I had never done before. In 2021, this photograph on the middle, it was the first time that I went to a store to buy some of the threads that I would like to use. So it was a passion, a new thing in my life that took me hours and hours and years of study and experimentation to get where I am now. And I started not so uh, in a few years ago, but I studied a lot on this last past years. You can pass the next one. Um, First, when I didn't know embroidery as well, so well. I thought embroidery was only cross stitch and a little bit of freehand embroidery that I show you on these photographs. They are not my embroidery. These ones, they are traditional embroideries that are very common here in Brazil. But a lot of people still think that embroidery, this kind of embroidery, are done only by housewives or grandmothers. And has been changing over the years. Nowadays, I see a lot of younger people embroidering and changing the technique and the freehand embroidery. With the freehand embroidery, you can use different techniques together, and you can experiment. You can make creative experiments as you wish. It's free, right? So you can pass to the next one. The thing that I most like in embroidery, it's there are no limits. You can be free as you wish. And then I put some works, some artists. They're not Brazilian artists, but I think now with internet we can expand our vision and see a lot of beautiful artists. There are not, they don't do the same thing as we are used to. They're recreating embroidery and recreating the stitches that we already know. So I put these ones, the examples of free motion embroidery that mix different styles of stitches. And as you can see, they're very different between each other, but they're very rich. You can pass to the other. Here I have the first one as a punch needle, the name of this technique. I don't use it very much, but I think it's beautiful, and you can use it to make tapestry. The second one, embroidery and sewing together. It's a very free kind of embroidery too. I love it. And the third one, it's a Brazilian artist uh, with a embroidery in paper that I think is very difficult to do. I don't like to do it, but I think it's beautiful too. The next one, please. And finally, I think the thing that is it's on it's happening more and more, at least here in Brazil, it's embroidery on clothes. The first one you can see that you can do with dots, simple dots, you can do a very beautiful piece. And the second one is more complex, a more complex embroidery that it's very nice too. I like it very much. I don't like minimalism. I like this kind of stuff. You can pass to the next one. But the thing that I chose to embroider the technique. The name is needle painting or thread painting. It's the name is uh, it explains itself. You pretend that you are painting with thread. So the most important thing for me in this technique is the direction of the stitches. You have to respect some uh, the direction of the things that are happening. For example, if I'm going to stitch a bird, I have to study the directions of its wing, for example. Oh, you can go back, please. I wanted to show you first that I didn't start embroidering birds. I started embroidering a lot of different things. I have embroidered these two embroideries of Van Gogh, for example, and I wanted to show you this embroidery because I think the direction of the points are very important because of the brush strokes of Van Gogh. So if I want to pretend that I'm doing a Van Gogh picture, I have to respect the direction of the points. The other thing is choosing the colors. Choosing the colors to a realistic embroidery, it's very important. And I use it. This is me. You can use how you wish, but I use a single strand of thread, so it's a very thin strand, so it can be more, you have more details, but it took long for you to finish an embroidery. You have Susan told about using AI to do fake embroidery, right? Because embroidery is something that it needs to take time. You cannot make it quickly. It doesn't exist. So I use my time. I love to use all time that I can to do my embroidery so it can be very detailed. You can pass to the other. And well, why did I start to embroidery birds? In my time on social isolation, I went to a house in Rio de Janeiro, but a little bit far from the city. I went to a house in the mountains, and then I stayed there for a couple years, and I began to observe the birds in the backyard, birds that I have never seen before, I have never noticed before. And in this region of Rio de Janeiro, we have a lot of beautiful birds. And the birds that came to my attention was the saffron toucanet and the Brazilian tanager. It was the first birds that I saw, and then I was in love with them, and I wanted to know which birds were them. And then I bought a bird guide. I had never had a bird guide, so I bought one and I bought binoculars, and then I start to watch them through my window and study the different species that I had in my backyard. This is a photograph of my embroideries, my huge embroideries of wool. I like to do it too, like a tapestry. and they are my favorite birds until today. Can pass. Well, this was the first bird embroidery that I did. You can see that I didn't know about the direction of the stitches. I didn't know about the colors. I didn't know the rules of the embroidery. But I think it's very important for us, for everyone who does a creative work, to experiment and learn just like this, with time, and not doing everything right from the beginning, and choose what you're going to do. I love this embroidery. I think they're great too. They have no technique, but they are part of my knowledge, right? So there was my first birds. You can pass. And these ones, they are embroiders with a little bit more technique. I have improved my technique over the years, and they are all embroideries, small embroideries, um before I started to do the tapestry that I'm going to show you. But this kind of embroidery is the kind of embroidery that I did for the campaign of World Migratory Bird Day. You can pass through the other. Nowadays, the embroidery that I most like to do is this one. It's a tapestry made of wool, and I'm always getting these birds bigger and bigger. That's why that's what I'm doing nowadays. Here, if you see me here on my camera, you can see the last one that I did. It's right behind me. The next one, please. And well, I wanted to use my embroidery to my musical work too. So this is the album cover, my album cover from an album that I released in 2024. I made this embroidery of wing, and then the designer made the the cover using my embroidery. And as you can see, I use the theme of the birds uh, in my musical work too. The next one, please. And this is the official campaign flyer for 2026. I was very happy with this invitation. I had to embroider 7 species of birds that they are on the side of the flyer, and I embroidered each one of them separately, and then I have help to put them together by Amanda Parmigiani. It's a friend of mine, a designer. She helped me to think about how I was going to uh, put them together on a circle. I did want them to be inside a circle. That is the hoop of the embroidery. Um, it took me, I don't know, 40 hours to do each one of them. So I took 7 weeks doing each one of them, embroidering each one of them. And I love to know new species that I didn't know. The next one, please. Here they are. As I was working during this 7 weeks that I embroidered these birds, some of these weeks I had to travel to play, to do concerts. So I put them on my suitcase, and then I just went with all my materials, and I was doing them because I had to finish the 7 species on time, right? And it was very challenging for me, but I did like very much the results, and I was very happy with the process too. The next one, please. Well, here we have a video that I made to show you step by step how it was made, the barn swallow. Um, yeah, can show the cinnamon too. And this is very slow process. You don't have you cannot have rush to finish it because it won't be very nice. Um, and in the middle, we have the photograph of the elements that I did just with a single thread too, but uh, much simpler embroidery. The next one, please. Well, I began to birdwatch, observe birds. It has not a long time, but I think when I started, what the first thing that I wanted, that I thought it was very nice, it was to identify the species. This was like a game for me. So I think it all started uh, by it. And then I wanted to know about the geographic distribution, if I could, when and where I could find some bird or another that I wanted to see. And I started to think about traveling to find some birds and know if they were species that it was in risk of extinction. So I think when you start to enjoy the to identify the species, I think something happened that you came absolutely in love with them, and you want to know how do you preserve the species. I think it's something that we should um, talk to our friends to do it together, so much people can contribute to this kind of thing. The next one, please. And this photograph is here on Rio de Janeiro. And I put this because before I came observer, bird watcher, I didn't know about the risk of collision, yes, collision of birds on windows. So it's something that I learned about. And I didn't know too about don't leave the cats, our cats. I have a cat nowadays, but I didn't know that cats were uh, a huge risk for the environment, right? So uh, I think this was the first things that I learned when I started to birdwatch. I started to think about the environment around me. How could I help to preserve the species in my city? The next one, please. And then I started to find another people that has the same interesting than me. So I think then I put them I put photographs of Avistar. Avistar, it's an event that every year happens here on São Paulo, in here, Rio de Janeiro. I went to the couple to last Avistar. I show my embroidery in Avistar on the first photograph. I met two of the ornithologists, most famous ornithologists, young ornithologists here in Brazil, Juliana and William. And I think when you talk about birds on these events, the things that I like the most are the community that we are creating the friends that we are making. And we have free lectures and classes. So it's very nice. They are events that they have a lot of importance for our community, and I think for the environment too, because we are always learning and making this community much bigger. I have already uh, joined another friends with me since I started bird watching. The next one, please. And well, if you want to know about my work, these are my links. You can find me on Instagram. O Borda do Céu, it's my brand of embroidery. And Luisa Lacerda, my name, you can find me as a singer. You can find me on YouTube. I have a lot of videos playing and singing. And I am in all digital platforms for you to listen. And I think that's it. The next one, please. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for inviting me. I love to be part of it.
Oh, thank you so much, Luisa. Your work has been amazing and it's everybody just loves it. It's just incredible what you've done. Before we move to questions, we have another, maybe a guest on the call that I'd like to see if she can speak to us. You know, embroidery is around the world, so it's a form of art that so many people do. And I wanted to see if Gudelia Chaparro is online and if she can wants to speak a little bit about her work as well. Miguel, en español, por favor.
Hola,
Hola,
Hello.
Gudelia, gracias.
hola.
Hi, Gudelia. Thank you for being here.
Mi nombre es Gudelia.
Hello, my name is
Eh,
Gudelia,
yo vivo en una comunidad
and I
cerca de
live in a
Tepic, se
community
llama
near
Cuarenteño.
Tepic. It's called Cuarenteño.
Sergio me invitó.
Sergio invited me.
Dime.
Yes, sorry, just one thing. Just I want to inform the English speakers that we will uh, be having a presentation in Spanish.
Sí. Ok.
Sorry, you can now go ahead with the presentation.
Mm, a nosotros,
Okay, thank you.
bueno,
Well,
yo y mi familia,
me and my family,
da el bordado, nos ha gustado
we we
pues
just
de
really like
muchos años
embroidering.
atrás.
We started a long time
Pero
ago, but
como
lately,
unos 3 años para acá, nos
or
enfocamos
maybe 3 years
en
ago,
bordar.
we started
La
focusing
mayoría
on
son aves.
embroidering, and we focus mostly
Nos
on
enfocamos
birds.
mucho
Uh,
en aves
we
que estuvieron
we
monitoreando aquí,
focus on
aves
birds that
en peligro
we
de
monitor
extinción
here.
que hay
We
aquí en mi
focus on birds that
comunidad.
are endangered here in my
Y
community,
pues bueno, nos enfocamos en
and
bordar
we focus
distinto tipo de
in
aves,
embroidering different types of
jugando con sus
birds,
colores.
and we play
Eh,
with their colors.
Mi mamá, pues no pudo estar aquí.
My mom unfortunately was not able
Ella
to be here.
borda muy hermoso.
She's
A
a very
ella
good
le encanta
she's
bordar
very good at
mucho
embroidering, and she
desarrollar
loves
todo tipo de flora y fauna
to
muy
use
hermosa.
images of
Y pues bueno, mi
flowers. We're
mamá,
surrounded by beautiful
mi
fauna and
mamá
beautiful
cuando empezó
flowers.
a bordar,
And my mother, when she
ella,
started
ella nos enseñó a
with
nosotras
embroidering, she was the one that taught
diferentes
us,
puntadas.
and she taught us
Comenzamos con
different
el punto alto.
stitches. We started with the cross stitch,
Es muy minucioso, muy
and
difícil,
it is very
pero pues
difficult,
se aprende.
but that's how you learn.
Nosotros bordamos con un
And
hilo que se llama
we
hilo. Es muy
use
pequeñito.
a very, very thin thread that is called iris. And this is a thread that if you don't know how to use, it gets all tangled up. But once you are able to work with it, then it is very easy for us to do the embroidering. I would love to show you maybe 2 or 3 samples so you can look at them. This is part of our work. I don't know if you are able to see it. This is part of what we have created. And when we start to embroider this type of birds, they requested from us colors and the type of flowers that are around. There were some specifications that were necessary in the embroidering, but this is the type of embroidery that we do. I don't know if you are able
Muy bien,
to
gracias.
see it. Yeah, it looks great. And we also do tote bags. These are the embroidering that we did with hummingbirds. And for the hummingbirds, we wanted to use birds from a region endemic to here. So we focus with on the ones that are in our community. And that's what we focused on. Birds, flowers, and we don't really use cross stitch. But in my family, this is something that is very popular. So we also do blouses, dresses, and all kinds of designs. And it's just something we really, really love. I don't know if you have any more questions or something that you want to ask.
Thank you so much, Gudelia. We appreciate your coming on and sharing the work that you're doing. And so glad that Sergio was able to connect us. And yes, thank you to Luisa also for the amazing art that she did for Migratory Bird Day. We did have some questions, I think. Someone was asking if Luisa does, uh, if you take requests. Um, for art to do like specifically for someone. So I don't know, Luisa, if somebody wants to do,
Yes,
huh?
I do, but I have a wait list. So I don't know.
How many years is it?
You can write me on Instagram, and then it took me some time, but someday I can finish it.
That's great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hopefully, maybe if someone could put the Instagram link on the chat there. And Gudelia, a question for you is, where are you selling your tote bags and other items? I think she froze, maybe. Well, I'll tell you that we work with one of her partners, so we can put in a request to find out. And if you think you want to purchase something, I think Gudelia lost her connection. We can. Oh, there you are, Gudelia. Where can someone purchase your tote bags or your other items? And you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? Or there we go. Nope. There we
Ya,
go.
listo.
Listo.
There.
¿Sí me
Where,
escucho?
sí,
Can you hear
muy
me?
bien, gracias.
Sí.
And where could someone buy your materials, your items? Is she in the translation room?
Oh,
Mhm.
este, mi, mi producto, aquí
So
en
our
comunidad
products
cuarenteño,
are
tenemos un
available
grupo,
here in Cuarenteño in our community. We have a group.
tenemos un grupo donde hacemos los
We have
ensamblados
a group
y
where we do the embroidering,
cuando hay
and
personas
when
que
there
están
are
buscados
people that
para vender nuestro
have
producto,
looked for us
vienen, se
to
comunican con
sell our product,
nosotros,
they get in touch with us.
y pues algunas personas
And
tienen obviamente a veces
sometimes they
que
come,
salir
or
a
sometimes
llevar
we
nuestro
have to
producto
go
a Migratory,
and
que es
bring
lo
our
más
product
lejos que
to
hemos ido,
Tepic. That is the furthest we've gone.
pero pues
But
nosotros,
we,
Uh-oh. I think she froze again, but I think what we could do is if you're interested in any items, maybe Sergio, if you could put in the chat box what a good way would be for us to request those materials from Gudelia. That would be great. I have a question for Luisa. Luisa, the question was, how did you like improve your technique uh, in embroidery?
How would I like? I
Well,
don't know
how
if
did you,
I understood the
dice
question.
que cómo aprende y mejoró su técnico de
Oh,
bordado.
okay.
Ujú,
Just trying on, experimenting and doing it a lot of times, the same thing on different ways. So I have no fear of trying new types of thread or new kinds of new forms and making them bigger, making them smaller. So I think the improve anything is trying it uh, for a long time and different ways and without fear of trying new things. So I really embroidered um, several hours a day since I started, and I have tried a lot of techniques. And I think that's the way we can play an instrument or embroider or do anything else.
that's great.
That's it.
And the big ones, what material are they on?
It's wool. I think that's the name in English.
Well,
Wool. That I do just like it's a tapestry, so it's just like uh, rug. That's the name that you put on the floor.
hmm Yeah.
It's a rug. That's
Yeah.
the same material as wool rugs. And it's the same technique I use as the I use in the smaller ones, but I make it bigger and with this wool that it's very it's this size, right? So it's not so thin,
hmm
but it's the same idea.
hmm Excellent. And for both you and Gudelia, um, do you think that your bird embroidery has motivated other people to get interested in birds? Gudelia quiere responder a
sí,
la... Ajá.
sí. Yo creo que sí,
I think yes,
porque una
because
vez
one
que
time,
transmites
once
lo que tú sientes, el
you
gusto, ya
communicate
sabes,
the
o sea, sus colores,
passion,
el sentir,
what
todo
you
lo
like
que
about birds,
contienen
their
las aves,
colors, and
tú mismo con tu
everything
entusiasmo, yo
that
creo que
they
contagias
bring.
a
I
más
think
personas a
that
seguir,
enthusiasm
porque
is contagious.
aquí, pues bueno,
So
cuando yo
other
comencé,
people get inspired. So in my case,
pues yo comencé casi sola.
I started
Ya
basically
ahorita
on
ya
my
somos
own.
varias.
Here now we have a group
Yo
where we do it,
siento
and I
de mi
think
parte sí,
that
sí
on
es un
my
entusiasmo
on my
que
part,
sí se puede
it is
compartir y
enthusiasm that
entusiasmar a
can
más
be
personas para que
shared,
sigan el
and we
bordado y
can
para que se
inspire other
motiven a
people
seguir adelante,
to
¿verdad? Y
it
más
to do
cuando pues
embroidery and to
logras
get
vender
passionate about
algo,
birds, and
cuando
especially when you are
logras
able
ver
to
que tu
start selling
trabajo
something and you see that
vale
your
y
work
se valora por otras
is
personas, pues
valuable
bueno, yo
and
creo
other
que
people consider
por
it
esa
valuable as
parte
well,
sí,
then I think
es,
that's
sí, sí
when
se motiva uno más. La verdad
you
que
start
sí,
to
y
get
sí
more
motivamos a
motivated.
más personas.
and we motivate other people as well.
Gracias, Gudelia. And for those of you who
Thank you,
don't know, we
Gudelia.
actually have English, Spanish, and Portuguese going here. So Luisa speaks Portuguese and English, and then we have Spanish with Gudelia. So our translation is a little more complicated this time. So Luisa, how about you? Do you feel like your embroidery has motivated others to get interested in birds?
Yes, I think at least my friends they always ask which species I am embroidering, and people want to know that I didn't invented the birds that I am embroidering. So they want to know the name, they want to know where they can find them. So I think it's a step by step. People are getting more interested in birds, and I think it's getting it's something that is happening in other kinds of art too. I don't know if it's because I work with it and I see it all the time, but maybe it's something that it's happening outside my city, my friends. I don't know. I That's just an impression.
Thank you. And another question from the chat is, are there species that are birds that are harder to embroider than others?
I think birds that are not very colorful are, for me, they are more difficult. For example, a bird that it's all black. I think it's more difficult to put some lights and put some details on a bird that doesn't have a lot of colors and shapes, uh, different things on it. So these ones, I think it's easier for me because it has a lot of different details and colors.
Mhm. Yeah, I could see that would be hard. I think we lost Gudelio again. Okay, let me look and see if there were some other questions in here. So, oh, they wanted to know, Susana Maria Guerrero wanted to know the tapestry. How long did it take you to do that?
To embroider, I think it's 30 hours, 35 hours, but the thing that take me more time is to cover the back of the embroidery and do a good finalization to it makes make it look good on the other side too. And these things, it takes to put these ones here, it takes a long time too. So embroider is just a part of it all.
Hmm. Wow. And for Gudelia, oh, I think she's frozen again. I'm so sorry. Gudelia, ¿estás aquí? Oh, no, maybe not. Ah, sí, estás aquí.
Sí,
Okay, muy bien.
escucho.
So what do you,
Perdón porque se va un poco la
Yes, my
señal,
sorry. I'm
pero,
sorry. It's just that
pero sí escucho.
the
sí, está
connection
bien, no,
is
no hay
lost
problema.
sometimes.
Es que
Of
la
course, no
pregunta
problem.
es
The
si
question is,
qué usas
what do you
para
use
conocer la ave para el bordado?
to get to
¿Cómo se
know
usa
the
como
bird
material de
so you
referencia?
can embroider it? What do you use as
Ah,
a
ok, el
reference?
material.
So the
Nosotros
material,
usamos manta,
we use
esto
manta,
es
it's a
manta,
fabric.
lo
This is the
blanco,
fabric that we use.
bordamos el manta y en cuadrillé
So we
los
embroider it,
hilos. Puede ser hilo
and
cristal, hilo
the
iris de
thread
preferencia,
is
hilo
iris
iris
or
es
cristal.
lo que usamos nosotros.
Preferably the brand that we use is iris.
Y de preferencia usamos el bordado de manta,
And we
porque en
prefer to
manta
use
esta
the
tela es muy
fabric
resistente,
manta
la tela
because it's
resiste más
very
que otras telas y
resistant.
el hilo cristal, cuando lo estamos bordando,
And
el hilo cristal,
the
es de
thread,
los que
when
más
the
usamos
brand
porque es el
crystal is
recolor.
the one that we use the most because the
Siempre prevalece
color
su color
doesn't stain.
intacto, ¿no? Y el hilo iris, que viene siendo
And iris,
el
the
hilo
iris
iris, lo
thread,
usamos más para las
manta
aves
is on
porque
bleached
queda
cotton fabric. That
su
is the fabric
bordado,
that
su
they use.
puntada muy fina
And the iris
pues,
thread that we is the one
podemos
that we use
señalar
for
lo que,
the
lo que son
birds because it's a
las
thinner
alas,
thread, and that way we can
lo que son
see
los
better the
frutos, ¿no? Donde van
wings,
las flores.
the
Ese es el tipo de material
flowers.
que nosotros
That is the type
usamos.
of material that we
Esta
use.
tela, esta tela es
This
lino,
fabric,
es lino.
it's linen.
Y para
So we
las
use
bolsas
cotton
nosotros
and
usamos la
linen,
manta.
and the cotton
Ese es el tipo de material que
is for
nosotros
the
usamos.
tote bags. So
Muy
those are the
lindo, es muy
materials that we
lindo.
use.
Gudelia, ¿y cuánto
It's
tiempo
very
has usted
beautiful,
para hacer
Gudelia.
eso?
And how long
How
does it
much
take you
time did it
Pues
to make
to
yo
that?
creo
create
que para este bordado,
this
comenzando a bordarlo
embroidery?
así, yo creo que
Uh,
sí me aviento
when I start, I
tal vez
think
unas 15 horas
maybe 15 hours,
en lo que recorto, acomodo bien
while
lo
I
que es
cut and put
la
together
manera dibujos, porque dibujo a
the
mano mis
drawing
dibujos,
because I draw by hand
¿verdad?
first.
Y pues
And
yo creo que sí me aviento unas
I think
18 a 20 horas tal
maybe
vez,
18 to 20
para que
hours
quede bien perfeccionado mi trabajo.
to make sure that it's
Excelente,
well done.
increíble.
Excellent.
Let's see if we have any more questions in the box. I'll finish with this, but do either of you have a favorite bird you like to embroider? ¿Tiene una ave favorita que prefiere bordar?
Yo sí.
I do.
Me
Sí,
encanta a
¿cuál?
mí. Hay un colibrí
I
que se
love
llama
there's this hummingbird. Sorry, there is an open microphone in the background.
um, este, hay un colibrí que me encanta
There
que
is
se
a
llama
hummingbird that I love.
leucotis.
It's
Me
called
encanta
leucotics,
ese colibrí. No lo
and I love
tengo
that
bordado
hummingbird.
para
I
mostrar,
don't have it in
me
embroidering
encanta
yet
porque tiene
to show
un
you,
sinfín de
but I
colores
love it because it's very, very
perfecto,
colorful and
la
it's
verdad,
so
y son
perfect.
unos colores
And
llamativos,
I love the colors. They're
es el
very
ave que más me
bright,
gusta
and
bordar.
that's my favorite bird
Y otra de las
to
aves que
embroider.
bordamos
And
y que me
another
encanta
bird
bordar es
that
la
I love
operusa,
is
la
the
ninfa
oferusa,
mexicana.
a
Esa
Mexican
me
nymph.
encanta desde que la conocí,
And
más
I love
porque
it
es un ave en
since
peligro de
I got to
extinción.
know about it
Y
because
pues esa ave, pues casi no la hay.
it's endangered. It's
Solo
the
hay
Mexican
tres,
wood
cuatro
nymph,
lugares donde los
and there's
encuentras
only 3 or 4
y bueno,
places
cuando yo la
near us where
conocí
you can find
me
it. And when
encantó
I got
empezar
to
a
know it,
observarla
I was fascinated by it, and I
son mis
loved
dos aves preferidas
uh, to
que me
to
encanta
embroider
bordar.
it, and those are my two
Nice. So
favorite birds.
this is the white-eared hummingbird and the Mexican wood nymph that she's talking about as being her favorite birds to
Sí,
embroider. Thank you, Godelia.
la
And
ninfa
Luisa,
mexicana.
for you.
Sí.
My favorite one that it's my favorite bird and the one that I have embroidered the most. They're the saffron toucanet that I show you,
Wow.
and this embroidery is the only one that I don't sell. I did this. There was the first time that I did a tapestry. It was a saffron toucanet, and I don't sell it because it's my favorite. It's for me, and I have embroidered it several times. It's my favorite bird.
And is that in your yard? I noticed when you were talking about the birds in your yard, that one picture was up. So you see
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in your patio in your yard?
yeah. I don't leave them there anymore, but it's a city that I'm always there, and it's not so easy to see these ones, but I have seen them a few times. I am a lucky person.
That's amazing. And one, Luisa, for you, someone asks, what is the final finish that you give the tapestry? Like, how do you shape it?
Oh, here, I don't know the name of the material here, but it's just like inside here. It's
It's
just
felt.
like
I think
a rug.
I think it's, is it the same as what we have here on your pieces?
No, no, inside where I
Uh,
do the embroidery, it's a material that we use to do rugs. And
mhm.
then I put this, I just sew this, sew, no,
So,
embroider too. This, sew this to be beautiful on the other side. But in Brazil, we call the material that I embroidered talagarça. So, but I don't know in Spanish or in English, but it's the same material that you use to do hugs.
mhm. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And Gudelia, una pregunta para ti es, ¿dónde está? Por favor, es una pregunta de Eugenia
This is a
Enríquez.
question
Por favor, ¿puedes
for
indicarnos
Godelia
el
from
revés
Eugenia
del
Enriquez.
bordado?
Could you please show us the
Extienda
back
de
of
su
the
mano.
embroidery?
Please share ¿qué es un revés? I can't translate that to English.
It's the back of the back
Oh,
of the
okay, the
embroidery.
reverse. The reverse. Okay. Yeah, para Gudelia.
Ah, ok, va. Este es el,
Yes, of
el
course.
revés de mi bordado.
This is the back
Creo que casi está
of
perfecto
the
por el revés también.
embroidery. I think that it is almost
Eh,
the same in the back.
Cuando nosotros usamos nuestra pintura,
When we use
la
our
puntada es relleno,
stitches, the stitch it's to
relleno.
fill the
Y al
design.
último, pues bueno, yo
And at
prefiero
the
nudos.
end,
Muchas
I
personas usan sus
think
nudos. Yo no
knots.
uso
Well,
nudos.
a lot of people
Yo
use
trato
knots.
de esconder
I try
cualquier
to
pizquito que
hide
me queda por acá. Trato
any
de esconder
stitch
todo
that is in
para
the back. I try to
que
hide everything
quede
so
perfecto.
it's perfect
Revés y
from
derecho.
the front and the back.
Y Gudelia, para ti,
And Gudelia, for you
para hacer tus bordados,
to
¿utilizas
do your
fotos u otro
embroidery, do you use
material
photos or
para
any
hacer
other
recados?
material to get to know the birds,
Mm,
or what do you do?
Photos or other reference
sí
materials
me,
of the
sí
birds?
me,
Yes,
de hecho me
actually,
encanta
I
salir y
love
observar las
to
binoculares.
go with my binoculars
Pues
and
bueno, uso
observe
mis
them.
fotografías,
And I
mis
use my
propias
photographs.
fotografías,
Sometimes I use
mis
my own
videos para ver
photographs. Sometimes I
colores,
use my
la silueta del
videos
ave,
so I can see the shape of the bird, the
pero sí, uso
colors.
mis propias
But
fotografías.
yeah,
Me gusta mucho
I use my
observarlas
own
minuciosamente.
photographs. I pay a
Me
lot of
pongo
attention to
y
them.
observo
I
todos los
observe them
detalles, los colores,
and I
las
look into all
líneas, o sea, todo,
details, the
todo.
colors, the
Pero sí,
lines.
uso mis propias fotografías.
And yeah, I use my own photographs most of the
Wow.
time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you to Gudelia for joining us today. Gracias a Gudelia para juntarnos hoy. Es excelente aprender más sobre tu trabajo. It's just amazing to hear about your work. And thank you so much. We can't thank Luisa enough for her amazing art this year. Everyone has just loved it. I mean, it's been, I would say, one of the most popular pieces we've had. We've had to reprint our shirts 3 times. And so people really love it and want to see it. And they're always amazed when we say, and this was the original piece was embroidered. So thank you. We look forward to seeing more of your work in the future, and we appreciate your time today. Muchas gracias, Gudelia, para participar y para toda la información sobre tu trabajo y esperamos que
Sí,
vamos a ver más
también gracias a
trabajo en el
ustedes.
futuro.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Susan, and congratulations for this campaign.
Thank you.